welcome everyone. Welcome whether you're here or whether you're listening to the recording. There's something so beautiful about doing the drum and really just gathering ourselves and listening to that rhythm, that ancient rhythm that relates also to our heartbeat, to the rhythm of the cosmos, and just brings us deeply into the ancient wisdom. And it's a remembrance. The drum feels like a remembrance to me. When I drum, it brings me back into that fire and the circle with women gathering. Yeah. So welcome. So today I wanted to start with, we're going to continue with the wild woman, and we're going to continue with reflections about how we express, how we use our voice, how we stand up for ourselves, how we feel in relationship to this archetype within us. And also, if you notice on the chart, I was very pleased to notice that also the wild woman archetype is also the full moon phase, which we had last night, and we're still very much under the full moon effect. And the full moon, yesterday was spectacular, it was so beautiful. And this particular full moon, which was in Virgo, is the last full moon of winter. And so in the seasonal energy that we're all in for the northern hemisphere, it's the last full moon of the winter season. And the winter is really a time of rest. It's really a time to integrate, to regenerate. It's a process of death in a way, and then preparing for the birth, the rebirth, which happens now in the spring. So as we're in this energy of kind of starting to come out, starting to blossom, as we're going into the equinox on Sunday, which is the beginning of spring. And so with this last moon, with this last energy that is closing and the new energy is opening. So the last full moon of winter, it's like really being able to take the time to reflect on what have we integrated in our being in the last 3 months during winter. What have we, a lot of times our winter is about integrating all of last year, all of what happened, our experiences last year, and distilling them into the jewels of what is it that we are taking with us. We've integrated, we've let go of everything that wasn't necessary. We've distilled the experiences, the challenges, the joys, we've distilled them all to the jewels. We've learned, we've evolved, and now we're starting a new cycle. And so there can be a lot of energy around creating the new cycle and setting goals and setting visions and intentions around this Aries energy with the new spring. But we're not there yet, and we're almost there, and we're feeling it. We've been feeling it probably for a few weeks because these processes aren't really linear. They kind of merge into each other. But this is the last opportunity we have to actually really reflect on the pearls and reflect on our growth and be very conscious of what we want to bring forth. what we've, in a way, what have we really, what is the word that I am looking for? It's like, what have we been able to really receive and take with us to the next journey, to the next cycle, during all of our experiences of last year, and of course all of our experiences of this lifetime, past lifetime, because it's not linear. So it's still a very, very important process of distillation, and of really being conscious of these jewels that we have earned, in a way, that we've reaped, right? That are very, in many ways, that we're going to, it's like that's our foundation as we now leap into the next cycle of creation, right? This is what we've learned, what we've earned through our hard work, through our processes. So taking a look at that, so I want to really spend a little bit of time with that today, and before the equinox, before the new cycle officially begins. But wherever you are in your process, it's very personal. Wherever you are in your life, you might be in a process of deep transformation. There's always aspects of us that are, in transformation. Maybe you're more in a dark moon process. Some other aspects of yourself, of your life, might be in a full moon process. So it's like really being with all of these energies as they're moving through you, and just acknowledging the bigger cycle of your environment, of the earth that you're living in, walking on, if you're in the northern hemisphere, which everybody in this group is at this time. Really acknowledging the elements of the earth, because that's also influencing you, and you're in her energy in this northern hemisphere. So, and that would be the end of winter. So I want to take a few minutes with that, and just maybe jot down, if you have somewhere to jot down, and reflect upon some of these questions of what are some of the jewels that I have really been able to mine during this winter time. What are the reflections? What are the qualities? What have I learned? What stayed with me? What did I realize? What epiphanies have come through this winter? Because those are the ones that are going to help you to grow into the next level, into the next stage of your own life, of your own experience. And maybe just making a written note on your journal and reflecting on that for a few minutes. And and allowing yourself to reflect on that as we go inward. So let's just take a couple of minutes now. And I'm going to do, as we do that, we're going to do a little process with actually the full moon, because like I mentioned earlier, the full moon is part of that wild woman archetype. And so we're going to do a process with the full moon. And as we do that process, I'm going to bring you into a reflection of what we were just talking about, which is the harvesting. What have we really been able to mine? What is the reflection, the jewel of this past year as we're coming into the end of winter? What are the epiphanies that we've had that act now is our foundation as we move into the next phase of spring. So let's do a little process with that. And I want you to just allow yourself to sit comfortably. If you have your feet on the floor, it's wonderful. If you're sitting up where your spine is straight, and that's even better. So just take a deep breath. And we're going to work a little bit with the lunar breath. The lunar breath is also related to our wild woman. Remembering to breathe in and out through your mouth and bringing it through your throat. And then as you start to breathe and regulate yourself and just kind of come into the awareness of your body, the awareness of your space, start to feel the root chakra and your sitting bones, your pelvic floor on the earth, whether it's a table or probably not a table, a bed, a chair, the floor, and just feeling whatever's holding you up and feeling the gravity, feeling that magnetic pull of the feminine, feeling that. And if you don't feel it in your body and in your bottom, then feel it, just feel it in your arms for a second. Just feel how they, when you lift them, they just want to come down, Just become aware of how the gravity, that magnetic pull, is holding you close to her, is holding you close to Mother Earth. It's really important that we become more and more aware of this magnetic force and bring balance to the magnetic and the electric within our own body. And so we do this by cultivating, by becoming aware of that magnetic force within your body, how it's actually, how you're feeling it, right? The sensations in your body. And that brings you into deeper union with Mother Earth, with the elements. And it brings you deeper into the feminine consciousness, really, and into the safety that's there, that we've been disconnected from. Beautiful. Now, in front of ourselves, and actually above, we're going to envision the moon, the full moon. And if you saw the full moon last night, it was gorgeous when it was rising above the water. And it was, it had a golden tone to it. It's very, very golden and radiant and mysterious all at once. Beautiful. So envision that full moon now above you. And we're going to open up and receive the full moon through our crown chakra all the way down through the eye, the third eye, the throat, the heart. Bring her all the way down into the sacral womb. And we're going to do that 13 times. So you can start with me and then go at your own pace. You can start with me and then go at your own pace. I'm just listening for any other guidance around that. Okay, so we're just going to do that, and if we could do that with our lunar breath. And if you want to sound, you're always free to sound. There's nothing specific that's coming in for me to say around that. So let's begin. So we're just going to begin breathing in, and as we're breathing in, we're visualizing the moon coming in through our crown. All the way down, and as we're doing that, we can also move forward all the way down as far as we're comfortable into our sacral womb, and then exhale and move up. Okay, so let's do that again. So if you want to tune your breath even more, when you're breathing in, you're breathing down the moon all the way to your belly. You're coming forward, and then once you're in the forward position and she's in your belly, then you're exhaling. Okay, so let's try that. Breathing in. And I'll let you go at your own pace so that you could really be conscious of this process. when you do finish that series, then I want you to just sit and bring in the full moon in again. And just feel her as part of your heart light. And with each breath, she expands and expands and expands and expands within you so that you and the full moon become one. This is a variation of swallowing the moon practice. It's an ancient practice that dates back for 28,000 years ago from the lineage of the feminine lunar era. And just let yourself merge with the full moon, with her fullness. And then feel her expanding, expanding. And illuminating for you all of the gifts that you have received this winter. All of the epiphanies about yourself. Letting yourself really bring in, also invite the compassion. The compassion that was part of the drumming rhythm frequency that we were bringing in earlier, which is the compassion. Compassion for yourself and all of the challenges and all of the effort of this past year, spring and summer, and whatever your world grew, whatever the challenges were, whatever the gifts were, whatever the expressions were. And we brought all of that into winter. And then in winter we started to go inward. Distill even more. And now as we're getting ready to rebirth, we can reflect on what the last 3 months have been. What did we learn about ourselves? What did we realize about ourselves? Some strengths. What new wisdom has come through or is ready to be reclaimed about ourselves, about our needs, about our desires? How do we want to move forward into this next stage of manifestation that's deeper in alignment with our whole self, meaning our spirit, our soul, our heart, our purpose, our preferences of how we like to express, our joys, the things that bring us joy, let's just take a minute and pause here. Take a breath before the next big stage, big state comes through of outward manifestation. Recognizing again our efforts and having compassion with ourselves. Noticing how much we've done, and recognizing ourselves, our efforts, our work, our joy, our desires, and how much we've grown. And letting ourselves pat ourselves in the back rather than just, going full stream ahead. Let's take a pause and actually acknowledge the goodness that we've distilled and transformed. Acknowledge our efforts. Acknowledge our dedication, our commitment to ourselves, to our growth, to our purpose, and of course to the Great Mother. Acknowledge our journey. Synchronicities in our journey. Acknowledge how the Great Mother is supporting us, has supported us, continues to support us. And really falling back into and anchoring in love. In love. In the love that is all around us at all times. Love for ourselves, from those things that we want to create in life and express. Love for our desire to clear the conditioning and clear all of the places that feel somehow not ourselves, right? The love to be able to manifest more love, more of ourselves in life, to lead with our essence, with our light, with love. And so letting that full moon within you, and maybe she's expanded now all the way outside of you, maybe you're in her right now. Letting all of that light, knowing that you are also that light, that you are radiating that light outward. And that you are always that light, regardless of whether it's sunny or it's cloudy or you're feeling emotional turbulence or you're having a stormy moment, stormy day. That light is your essence, is your true self. Reflecting through your physical body and all the subtle bodies in between. But that light is who you are. And the full moon, she reminds you of who you are. She illuminates that truth for you. She is one of your many, many guides. And so feeling the moon in your heart, seeing her, being her, feeling her roundness, her spherical shape, the fullness, feeling that within you. And asking in this moment if there's any messages that she has for you, for your path, for your being, things from your own higher self. That are messages for you right now to receive. Just listening to her words and letting yourself receive them. really taking that all in. And seeing all that light radiating outward through your feet. Feeling all that light radiating out through your hands, your arms and your hands, and then radiating out of your head. And just seeing all that coming out through your extremities. Bringing out your hands straight out, so you're like a star, right? Because you are a star. Bringing out your hands, seeing your feet straighten out, and feeling all that light of your being coming out through your head, through your arms and your hands, through your feet, all the way out, 360, like a sphere of light. And then also seeing it from the front part of your body and the back side of your body. You are light, and you are the light of the world. This is your blueprint. And our task is to become conscious of that light, how that light wants to express, how that light wants to express in the physical realm, through our physical body, and in the physical world. So as we come to a close with this particular process, let yourself bow in gratitude to the oneness, to the great Mother that gives birth to all, your divine consciousness, to feminine consciousness. And then maybe noticing if you want to take a couple of minutes and jot some things down in your journal, epiphanies that came through. What are you acknowledging? What have you cultivated during winter within yourself? What new foundation are you coming from for this next stage of your life? What do you want to acknowledge within yourself? What messages did Grandmother Moon give you? Yeah. And you can still feel her as an imprint right here in your sphere, right here. And so as you journal, I'm going to complete this recording, but I want to encourage you for the next few days, for the next couple of weeks to continue to work with the wild woman and work through expressing and moving the sound through your voice. How do you stand up for yourself? How do you represent yourself in the physical world? How do you bring your whole self out into expression? How does she want to express? How does your soul want to express all that light that you are in the world? What is important to her? What lights you up? What brings you joy? And make sure that you're doing that on a daily basis as much as you can, because that is part of your purpose, what lights you up. This is how we know what our purpose is, what brings us joy, what gets us excited. And work with the lunar breath and work with this whole process of the full moon and bringing out that expression, radiating all that light. That's all about expression. Thank you. And I will post this in the recording section. Thank you. Peace.